Hey gang, Dale here, back for another WrestleBuddy video, and this time I'm bringing you 5+ Mania matches deep in the catalog of near inexistence. What I mean by that is these are matches that the Federation want us to forget about, stuff that happened during the Mania weekend where they want us to tuck away just even the remote interest of these actually existing. These range from occurrences after the match, or boredom, or more importantly, controversy. Let's get to it. Number 5. Hulk Hogan vs. Yokozuna, WrestleMania 9. The legacy of Hulk Hogan is scattered. While being the incredible babyface that generations of wrestling fans could rest their laurels on, he was the world's greatest sports entertainer politician. While Bret Hart lost his bout with Yokozuna in a flash, a newly shredded Hogan came to Bret's defense with a black eye and all. With the looming steroid trial in sight, the WWF then displayed their poster boy capturing the title in an illogical sense, regrettable to say the least, one that is a highlight of regret for the Federation in general. Don't believe me? Check out a year later when Bret Hart wins the title from Yokozuna. They won't even have Hulk Hogan in the photograph or the shot of WrestleMania 9. Bitterness? I think not. Number 4. Big Show vs. Akibono, WrestleMania 21. WrestleMania 21 was highlighted with an outstanding cast of Hall of Fame wrestlers, including the aforementioned Hulk Hogan, who would have a WrestleMania moment later on with Eugene. Another regrettable spot that could be discussed at a later date, but nonetheless, we ventured down to the Big Show. No, this isn't a turn, of course. However, this is a sumo match that is never discussed. And the only thing that really needs to be discussed is the outfit that Big Show wore. Kudos for wanting to fit in with the structure and tradition, but man, that didn't break any hearts. This match is never mentioned and is tucked away in memory banks. Akibono went on to a wrestling career out of this, and this is a tiny footnote that is never mentioned again in the WWE, and good lord, if you watch that again, it is awful. Number 3. Undertaker vs. Big Boss Man, WrestleMania 15. The streak was one of the more iconic feats in the business. It proves how relevant the dead man always was. That doesn't mean he isn't free to having recognition to being on the controversial side of the wrestling time capsule. His match with Flapjacket Big Boss Man here was the culmination of the feud between the ministry and the corporation. Remember that? Adding to the animosity was the dreaded Hell in a Cell. While a lackluster match isn't the main bullet point here, it's the fact that after the match, the Brood came down from the rafters to literally hang the boss man. The Wells Fargo Center was hushed during the attempted murder. Number 2. Roddy Piper vs. Bad News Brown, WrestleMania 6. No matter what year this took place, we are now in an age where Roddy Piper is recognized as certifiably insane. His antics are an incredible attribute of himself. A great movie, career, speaking tour, and celebrity with an image and $1 million smile. Now, picture half of that in blackface. Cancel culture would have had a field day today, but WWE has made sure that this match against Bad News Brown would hardly see the light of day when advertising the grandest stage of them all. There isn't really a lot of detail to get into here. Technically, all you need to know is about half of it. But when you look at Piper in general, you realize this falls in line with the envelope-pushing Hall of Famer and his antics with such a dramatic flair. And the number 1 match that WWE wants us to forget about in the history books, Triple H vs. Shawn Michaels vs. Chris Benoit, WrestleMania 20. What really needs to be spelled out here? One thing is true for all wrestling fans. We have a strong and long memory. You could try to rewrite history all you want, but this main event was one of the best we've ever seen, along with being one of the greatest triple threats that WWE has ever had. History of Benoit is being litigated out of the memory in the WWE circle. However, the fandom will remember this as an absolute classic. The amount of stories they told during this feature presentation was incredible, and the imagery of Eddie and Benoit is something that's hard to delete. However, the actions afterwards do not justify the man that was inside the ring, and therefore WWE will want this to be written off forever. First, we're going to start off with some honorable mentions on our list. Undertaker vs. Giant Gonzalez, WrestleMania 9. Bart Gunn vs. Butterbean, WrestleMania 15 in a Brawl for All contest, and Santina Marella winning the WrestleMania 25 Miss WrestleMania Battle Royal. These were clunkers, to say the least. Bart Gunn at least had a shining moment with winning the Brawl for All contest prior to this, but was fed to the wolves, known as the walking gimmick of Butterbean, and Santina Marella was just an absolute joke, considering look at all the looks as far as who was inside that Battle Royal. But let's go on to the countdown. That last one hit home for me. I was there and I watched WrestleMania 20 in its entirety from start to finish, and I will never forget the closing of that pay-per-view. It was an incredible image that was shattered, all with a tragedy that happened a few years later. Nonetheless, thank you for paying attention to us here at WrestleBuddy, and we appreciate all the likes, the subscriptions, and the fact that people interact with us on a daily basis. We just want to thank you all, and we hope to see you for WrestleMania live streams when WrestleMania weekend occurs. We love interacting with you. We love you guys being a part of just our whole brand. So we thank you for listening to another one of our videos, and we will see you next time. Enjoy wrestling, folks.